Years after Joseph brought his family to Egypt, Joseph died. His family stayed in Egypt. The people in the family were known as Israelites because they came from the family of Israel. They were also known as Hebrews. A new Pharaoh came to power, and he was afraid of the Hebrews. The family was so big. What if they joined Egypt's enemies and fought the king? Pharaoh tried to make the Israelites weak. He made them slaves and gave them very hard work to do, but their families kept growing. "Kill all the baby boys," Pharaoh said. But the Hebrew midwives who helped with the births did not do what Pharaoh said. "Throw every Hebrew baby boy into the Nile River," Pharaoh commanded. Around this time, a Hebrew woman gave birth to a son. She hid him as long as she could, and then she put him in a basket and set it along the banks of the Nile. The baby's older sister, Miriam, stayed nearby and watched the basket. Soon, Pharaoh's daughter went to the river to take a bath. She found the basket and saw the baby crying. Pharaoh's daughter felt sorry for the baby. Miriam offered to find a woman to nurse the baby until he was older. The princess agreed, so Miriam brought her mother to care for him. The princess named the baby Moses. When Moses grew up, he left Egypt and worked as a shepherd. The Israelites in Egypt were still miserable, and they cried out to God. God heard them, and he planned to send Moses to help them. One day, Moses saw a burning bush that was not burning up. Suddenly, God called from the bush, "Moses, Moses." Moses replied, "Here I am." God said, "I have seen how my people are suffering. I want you to lead them out of Egypt to a good land that I have for them." Moses wondered if the Israelites even remembered God. "What if they ask for your name? What should I tell them?" "I am who I am," God said. "Tell them, I am has sent me to you." "What if they don't believe me?" Moses asked. So God gave Moses 3 miraculous signs to prove that God had appeared to him. Moses' staff turned into a snake. His hand became diseased and then healed. "If they still do not believe," God said, "pour on the ground water from the Nile River. It will turn into blood." Moses made excuses and said, "Please send someone else." Now God was angry, but he agreed to send Moses' brother Aaron with him. God saved Moses to rescue his people. The calling of Moses points to a greater calling and rescue, the call of Jesus to come to earth to save God's people from sin. Moses and Jesus both obeyed God's commands in order to carry out his plan of salvation. Moses delivered God's people from physical captivity. Jesus delivered God's people from captivity to sin.